What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to get your music reviewed, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Jeezy called TM104, The Legend of the Snowman. Of course, the TM stands for Thug Motivation, and this is the fourth installment in that series. And he's a rapper out of Atlanta who's been active since the early 2000s. It's actually kind of crazy to think that he's been around for that long because it doesn't seem like it's been that long. But hey man, we're all getting older and time flies. Now to be honest with you guys, I haven't been a big fan of some of his recent work. I think he's kind of lost his edge and he hasn't really taken too many chances. But when it comes to his earlier work, like some of those first albums and his earlier mixtapes, he still has made some music that I really enjoy, man. He's a pro when it comes to making those bangers, spitting those dope boy stories. So I am a fan of Jeezy, just not so much in recent years, if you know what I mean. Kind of seems like he could maybe refresh his sound a little bit and go a bit more in depth with his stories, which he hasn't really done. And to be honest, I don't think he's really doing that on this one. Now, he did say that this was going to be his last album, but come on, man. We've all heard rappers say that a million times before. That claim is something that I don't believe. Like when my 5-year-old daughter comes up to me with chocolate all over her face, and I say, "Did you eat the last cookies?" And she says, "No, I didn't." And I know damn well that little rascal's lying to me, man. Some shit you just can't trust. Just like rappers saying they're putting out their last album, because they always come back, man. They never really retire. But, you know, the other thing that I kind of noticed about this project going into this review is that the track list was 18 songs. And you already know what I'm going to say, man. Luke James, the broken record, complaining about long-ass albums. I know you guys are tired of it. I'm tired of saying it. But it's true, man. If you're going to make a long album like that, I think you do need some sort of concept to tie everything together, have a certain level of versatility and depth to really hold it together. But you're not really getting that from Jeezy. And all in all, you know, this was a pretty average Jeezy project to me. Certainly not his worst work, but definitely not his best. So, you know, you are going to get some pretty solid bangers on here that I really did enjoy, like Big Shit and Mr. Pyrex. Both of these come from D. Rich, who delivered bass that is just thicker than Miss Yummy. If you know, you know. Maybe you could look it up on X videos. I don't know. You could do some study and maybe figure some shit out. And I like that line on Mr. Pyrex when he said, "Couple mil on that stove, Betty Crocker for figures. The way I'm scraping this pot, you think that shit was delicious. The whole kitchen dirty, I gotta do all the dishes." This is just that vintage Jeezy where he's talking about the work that he puts in the kitchen. And I ain't talking about mixing up some fajitas, which I haven't had in a while, but you know, you mix that shit up nice, get some sour cream in there, some mushrooms. We're gonna do that. But Jeezy's always rapping about going hard in the kitchen, doing that dope boy shit. And you know, you're gonna get that usual stuff all over this project. So on the song Look Like, for example, he says, "2020, I'm getting money like the 80s. We're the mashed potatoes, nigga. Everything is gravy." He's just really going in about food on this one, you know, working in the kitchen, whipping up these mashed potatoes. There's even a song called White Keys where we're getting this sort of classical piano beat that is cool, and he refers to himself as the Beethoven of the block because of the keys that he works. So that was a cool idea. It just fit in with the idea of Beethoven and obviously the production style, man, that classical piano. I thought that was pretty cool. So that was a little bit of creativity on display. But for the most part, you are getting the usual stuff that you would expect from Jeezy. Of course, I'm not saying you expect him to go in a completely different direction, but you kind of heard this stuff before, to be honest. So it's one of those things where if you're a diehard Jeezy fan, I can either see you saying, you know what, I just wanted this from him, this is exactly what I wanted because it's more of the same, or you're going to say, this is more of the same, but just not done as good as his older stuff. So you might just go back and revisit that, but I'm sure you guys can let me know in the comments section how you feel, and we're going to keep going here. I will be fair, though, and say that there are a handful of more introspective moments. On The Real MVP, we're getting this really nice production here, some somber piano and flute, as well as vocals from John Legend. And this one is kind of based on Kevin Durant's speech about his mom being the real MVP, because Jeezy is on here showing love to his mother, and the title, The Real MVP, obviously is telling you that. It's just a throwback to that. So you even get a clip from that Kevin Durant speech on this song. But, you know, I just think it would have been nice if Jeezy showed a little bit more growth, maybe got a bit more in depth with his storytelling, maybe even cut the track list back. All these things would have helped to make this a much better project, because as it is, I wasn't listening through this and hating it. I wasn't like, oh, this is just the worst project of the year, this is awful. I just kind of felt like everything here was too familiar, man, and you're going to get plenty of fillerish tracks, including MLK Boulevard. I'm probably in the minority here because I saw some people on Twitter just saying that they love this one, but to me it just proves that Lex Luger is still making the same beat all these years later. It was kind of cool to hear him because, you know, I haven't seen his name pop up in a project in a while. I'm sure he's been busy Jeezy, but this is the first time I've really seen it on a mainstream project in some time. But, you know, it's the same old type of beat. You got Jeezy taking shots at Trump, and Meek Mill is getting head in the Phantom. Just everything about this song is cookie cutter. Again, familiar, generic, you heard it before. But hey, it is a banger, so it will work for that cause at least. You're also getting an R&B joint with Ty Dolla called Foreplay. Nothing amazing here, but, you know, it does work for the late night, so I didn't think it was an all-out awful track. And on the topic of features, we do get Gunna popping up on the song called All Night, where he comes through with that flavorless, non-distinct brand of auto-tuning, man. I know it seems like I'm being extra hard on Gunna. It's not even that I'm trying to, like, go out of my way to hate on the guy. He's doing his thing. Respect, make your money. I just find that he doesn't really stick out in any sort of way, man. I've yet to be blown away by a Gunna song or a Gunna feature, but you know what? He's very popular right now, so that might just be me. But to keep it moving, I think the best feature comes from CeeLo Green on Already Rich. CeeLo just is the exact opposite of Gunna in the sense that he always sticks out, even when he just shows up to do a verse, do a hook, or whatever it is. I just like his sound and style. He always cuts through the beat. You know that it's CeeLo, so, you know, like I said, the complete opposite of Gunna, who doesn't really stick out. And Jeezy has some of that thug motivation on here when he spits. They ain't gonna give you shit, my nigga, so don't ask. Keep waiting for a handout, nigga. You won't last. So you can expect to get some quotables from him, including on 06 when he says, Jeezy for president, make America snow again. To me, that just sounds like a slogan that you could slap on a t-shirt and people would buy it. I would probably pay for one of those, so Jeezy got to get on that. And there's also a Rick Ross feature on here that really is just forgettable. It's a very short verse, doesn't say anything that's amazing, but you know what, they just slapped Ricky Ross on there, and it was an okay track, nothing amazing, but that's sort of the running theme here, is that a lot of these tracks aren't amazing, they're just kind of all right, and then it's 18 tracks, it just goes on and on, so it does get to be a little bit of a slog. And on the topic of forgettable, like I was saying with Rick Ross's verse, we also get Fake Love. This is a standard rap and R&B track with Jeezy speaking on fake friends. You also get the run-of-the-mill sex track, Play It Safe, where Jeezy says something that just kind of, you know, it just didn't sit well with me, because he says, straight up out the sewer, yeah, the sex can get nasty. And I understand the idea of nasty sex, like I am all up on the Nia Nachi videos, I have seen some of the work that she's done, but comparing sex to a sewer is just gross, man, and that is a very shitty comparison. Pun intended, dad joke, throw some points on there for me, Luke James with the dad jokes, but I don't know, man, just comparing sex to a sewer, really, that's, I know you're saying it's nasty, but it just puts a disgusting image in my head. Either that, or I'm going to start thinking of the Ninja Turtles, man. Maybe the Ninja Turtles got something going on with April O'Neil down there. Maybe that's what he's talking about. So nasty Ninja Turtles, fucking April O'Neil sex. I don't know. I'm just saying this shit off the top of my head now. It is what it is. That's how I do. But to keep it moving, I think one of the best tracks on here has got to be Don't Forget. You're getting a jazzy beat here with a very groovy bass line. You also have Jeezy coming through with some 10 commandments, from getting paper to watching for the police to watching which friends are around you. Just, you know, one of those tracks that's putting you up on game. I thought that production just fit him really well. And then on the song called One Time, he's jumping on the beat from Jay-Z's song Stick to the Script. That was a great song off of The Dynasty, which I think is one of Jay-Z's most underrated albums. I know that's a very contentious opinion. People are split on that. I've seen people say the album is trash, but I really like it, man. I think Jeezy sounds good when he does kind of get on some more, you know, laid back and sample-based shit. It's just different from the usual trap shit that he does all the time. But at the end of the day, this to me is a 2.5 out of 5. I did think about a 3 actually, but the ratio here just isn't good. And you know, like I said, it's not that this shit is all out awful from beginning to end. Like, I didn't find this to be rant review worthy. I just kind of listened through it, and it wasn't really anything new or overly engaging from Jeezy. There are certainly some moments here that are going to throw back to the classic shit that you want from him. Those are some of the best moments, and yet at the same time you would like him to do something different. So maybe that makes me, you know, a little bit of a hypocrite, but I think you guys know what I mean. Sometimes you're a fan of an artist and you've liked the stuff that they've done for so long, and on their projects you want to get that sort of familiar sound, but you want to see them maybe take it in a new direction or expand on it or just bring something a little bit more. But as it is, man, I think cutting the track list would have helped here, showing a bit more growth. But if you're a diehard Jeezy fan, or even if you've ever been a Jeezy fan, this is certainly worth your time, man. You might like it more than me. I'm sure you'll come out of it with a couple of tracks, but that's all I gotta say about this one, man. So hit me up in the comments section to let me know what you guys think. And of course, make sure you do all that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.